All right, our friends from PG&E are here. Great to have you, ladies. We have Brandy and Pam. Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely.
You brought along a lot of props here. We're talking about emergency kits and how important this is for families to have this ready to go in case of an emergency. So talk a little bit about what you brought.
So as we all know, emergencies can happen at any time. So you really want to make sure you're prepared. A couple of quick ideas though to be prepared for yourself outside of these wonderful things we have here is to make sure your account information is up to date, your contact information for pge.com/safety, as well as check with your local OES, your Office of Emergency Services, or your local Sheriff's Department and sign up for any alert programs they may have to let you know of any natural disasters or emergencies in your area. And the last thing is really to make sure your address is visible from the street. When first responders are coming out to you for whatever reason, they really want to make sure they can access you and immediately, because as we know, seconds can count in an emergency. So those are just some initial tips.
Yeah, initial things to check the box, make sure you have all that lined up in case you're ever in a situation where you need help right away. And then being prepared, yeah, we'll switch spots here. Being prepared as a family. You know, a lot of times we think we know what we're going to do in a crisis situation, but oftentimes we're not thinking straight when those things happen. So having things ready to go is very important, and that's what you guys are here to talk about today.
Absolutely, and thank you so much. It doesn't have to be very complicated. It can actually be very simple, and a lot of times you don't need the fancy commercial kits. You can actually go through your home and take a look at some of the things that you have. And so from the website that Brandy mentioned, pge.com/safety, you can actually download and print the list, and then you can take a look at having a backpack with just some essentials, some toiletries, a first aid kit, a handy tool, the ever famous duct tape, something very simple to keep those family documents in, all those important papers, financial statements, so that you can just grab them and be on the go. And then your prepared foods, the long-lasting prepared foods, emergency water, very easy, or multiple water bottles that you can fill up and take. Fill up and freeze, they're in the freezer, and then you can take them, and then in the event of an outage or a disaster, you can put the bottles in your refrigerator to keep your food nice and cool. And then having a portable radio charger, rechargeable batteries to charge your cell phone and things of that nature, the ever famous extra prescription glasses. And then we can't forget our children, because in the time of an emergency, if there's a power outage or something else is going on, we want to keep them entertained. So maybe some coloring books or some toys. And we can't forget our pets. So we have to make sure that we are including the pets because they're part of our family. And from the website, the information that we have available is inclusive of all of this. And again, you don't even need to have a fancy commercial kit. You can grab a bag from home with the list that you've printed out, walk through the house, and you probably have most of the stuff already in your home that you can assemble. The key thing to remember is to put this information together, make sure that you always have it readily available, and that everybody in the family knows what the plan is and where the items are located.
It's so simple. It just takes a little bit of thinking ahead to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Now, you mentioned briefly electrical outages. When that happens, what should people have already lined up, ready to go in case that happens at home?
There's a couple of things people can do in advance, including having battery-powered radios, having battery-powered flashlights. We don't recommend candles because of the potential fire risk, but we definitely, as Pam said, freeze some water bottles, put those in the fridge should you experience any sort of outages. And also you can unplug everything, so in case there is any surge or issue when the power comes back on, you can then plug in, leave one light on so you know that the power's come back on.
So important to plan.
A little bit of planning on the front end makes all the difference when something actually does happen. The feeling of being prepared really reduces the stress factor when something out of the norm happens.
All right, let's put up the information for you on the screen. Go to the website, check it out, get those lists, get your bags ready. The phone number right there as well, 1-800-743-5000. Thank you so much, ladies, for the great information.
Absolutely.